Hey guys, what's up? It's all about Mike 18 here with my top 10 favorite movies of 2012 video. Guys, yes, I'm showing my face for this video because this video I was really looking forward to doing all December long. This video I'm going to give you guys my top 10 picks for my favorite movies of 2012, and man, this list, yeah, it was probably kind of hard to put together because there were so many good movies that came out this year. This year was an excellent year for film. I had to see at least over 20 movies, and I managed to put together a top 10 list of my favorite ones of the year. These movies are the movies that stood out the most to me, the ones that were the most memorable, the ones where I had the best theater experience, and here they are, guys. I got the posters right here. Here are my top 10 favorite movies of the year. Just really quickly, I know you guys are probably going to disagree with me on some of the movies that I put in the video, but you know what? These are the movies that I enjoyed the most. This is my opinion. There are a lot of movies I did not get to see this year, guys, that obviously I couldn't put on the video because I didn't see them. I couldn't put on my list. Those movies are Argo, Looper, Dredd, End of Watch, possibly Sinister, Silver Linings Playbook, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, Compliance, Zero Dark 30. All those movies I didn't get a chance to see this year, and I know they probably would have made my top 10 list, but anyway, here is my actual top 10 list. But before I give you my picks, there are 3 movies that I would give honorable mention because I was close to putting them on the list, but there were 10 other movies that were better than these 3, and those 3 are 21 Jump Street, which I don't have a poster for because I never saw it in the theater. I actually just watched it on TV a couple weeks ago. That was that was the best comedy I've seen all year, actually, but I just couldn't put it on my list yet. The other movie is Ted. I saw it in the theater. The only comedy I saw in the theaters all year. Such a hilarious, funny movie. It really was. I just couldn't get a chance. I just couldn't put it on my list. And another movie, the best horror movie I'd seen all year. Yeah, I like this franchise. I know everyone hated this movie, but I liked it. Paranormal Activity 4. Just couldn't put it on my list. Because like I said, I liked 10 movies a little bit better than those 3. So guys, without further ado, here are the top 10 movies that I really enjoyed this year. Let's start this video off with a bang. Just like this movie had several bangs and explosions, and my number 10 pick is Battleship. A lot of you were probably disappointed I put this on my list, but you know what? What does Battleship equal? Battleship equals a fun, mindless action movie, and I love fun, mindless action movies. They're not the best movies, but Battleship definitely was a fun, mindless action movie. The action in this movie was top-notch. There were so many cool explosions and fights in this movie. It was a great military versus alien movie. The visuals were really good in the movie. Yeah, the story had problems. There were plot holes. The acting wasn't that bad. Trust me, the acting wasn't that bad. The score by Steve Jablonsky was really good. Yeah, the humor was kind of bad. The dialogue needed work. But you know what? I picked it as number 10 because I really like mindless action movies. There you go. Battleship number 10. Number 9, a crime thriller that I actually just watched. This was the last movie I had seen of 2012. And the movie is Jack Reacher, starring Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise, easily the best part of this movie. He gave one of the best performances from an actor I had seen all year. And it wasn't just him. The rest of the cast was excellent as well. He was perfectly cast as Jack Reacher, if you ask me. I loved the character of Jack Reacher. I thought the story was really well written. There were a lot of intense scenes in this thriller. The movie did need a couple more action scenes, but the action scenes that were in the movie were awesome. There's a car chase scene, which just happens to be one of the most memorable scenes that I had seen in a movie all year long. And Jack Reacher, fantastic movie, deserves a number 9 spot. Perfectly acted. Really enjoyed that movie. Number 8 is another thriller that I really enjoyed just a little bit more than Jack Reacher, and that movie is Premium Rush. Now, Premium Rush I saw at the end of the summer, a perfect end of the summer action film / thriller film, whatever you want to call it. I really enjoyed Premium Rush. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, he was easily one of the best actors that I had seen all year. He was in so many great movies, and this was one of his best movies all year. I didn't see Looper, but he was excellent in this movie. The rest of the cast was great as well. I thought the story was well written. Some of the chase scenes that were in the movie, I call them chase scenes, were really cool, really intense. And something that I loved about the movie was the hectic New York City setting that I think definitely added to the intensity of the movie, added to the suspenseful tone of the movie. I really loved Premium Rush. A great thriller. A lot of people really don't like this one, but I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed it. Definitely deserves a number 8 spot. Number 7, a movie that I'm pretty sure will win Best Picture at the 2013 Academy Awards. That movie is Lincoln. Lincoln, directed by Steven Spielberg, also known as one of my favorite directors of all time. Steven Spielberg, excellent direction with Lincoln. Lincoln, fantastically written. It's about Abraham Lincoln's fight to abolish slavery during the Civil War. Man, I thought this movie was going to be pretty boring going into it. Yeah, there were some boring scenes in the movie, I'm not going to lie, but the rest of the scenes, the dialogue was so well written, and they were really, I was into the ending scene of this movie with, at the House of Representatives. It was so intense, I was there, and it was so well done. There was no gunfight or no action at the end of the movie. It was just one long dialogue scene, and I was into it. The performances was the best part of this movie easily. Daniel Day-Lewis as Lincoln, enough said. Easily, he gave one of the best performances I had seen from an actor all year long. Lincoln definitely deserves to be on this list. I would have put it higher, but it kind of bored me in a few scenes, I'm not going to lie. Number 6 is The Amazing Spider-Man. While I loved the Sam Raimi Spider-Mans a little bit more than this one, The Amazing Spider-Man still was pretty good. I grew up with the Sam Raimi movies, though. That's why I like those a little bit more. Though this was still pretty good. Andrew Garfield was excellently cast as Peter Parker / Spider-Man. Spider-Man was really funny. Emma Stone was good in the movie as well, and I thought the Lizard was an excellent villain for Spider-Man. I couldn't wait to see the Lizard in this movie. And what else? The story was really well done overall. Some parts were I did feel that the movie was rushed in a few scenes. And some of the fight scenes were really cool. The visuals were really nice. Amazing Spider-Man, fun movie experience. Okay movie. You know what? It deserves to be on the top 10 list. It was a good movie overall. I liked it a little bit more than Lincoln. Because Lincoln, I'm not going to lie, I was bored in a few scenes in Lincoln. Now here's my top 5, guys. We finally arrived at my top 5. A lot of you aren't going to like this one, but I had to. Number 5 is Act of Valor. Act of Valor, one of the best war films ever made. I like Saving Private Ryan, maybe just a little bit more. This was such a fantastic movie. I loved the action in this movie. This is easily one of the best action movies of the year, apart from the Avengers. The action was excellent. It was so intense. Just all the Navy SEALs, the tactics, the gear, the weapons were so cool in this movie. Even though everyone rips on the acting, I didn't think it was that bad, guys. What do you expect? There are Navy SEALs in this movie. Of course the acting's not going to be that good. They're Navy SEAls. Cut them some slack, but the acting wasn't that bad. Yeah, the story I thought was pretty good. Maybe the dialogue could have needed some work, but there were a lot of intense and emotional scenes in this movie. Definitely enjoyed it. Deserves the number. It deserves to be on the top 5. I loved it. Great action movie. Number 4, a movie I thought was going to be okay. I walked out of it and said this movie was so breathtaking, and that is Life of Pi. Life of Pi, directed by Ang Lee. This was easily the movie with the best visual effects that I had seen all year. The visuals in this movie were so stunning and breathtaking. I was absolutely mind blown in some of the scenes. in this movie. There were so many beautiful and breathtaking shots in this movie. The 3D was outstanding as well. The performances were all good. This is such a cool survival story. It is not boring in the least. I was entertained throughout the entire movie, even in the beginning where it shows Pi as a young boy. I was into those scenes. Loved them. Life of Pi, fantastic movie, great story. Really enjoyed this movie. My number 3 pick, I liked my number 3 pick just a little bit more than Life of Pi, and that is The Hunger Games. The Hunger Games, based off the books by Suzanne Collins. I know a lot of people were really kind of disappointed with this because they read the books. I never read the books, and this movie was fantastic. Another great survival movie, I like to call it. The thing I loved about this movie, it was so unique from many other movies made today. It's so different. The story, it's different. It's kids versus kids. It's not adults versus adults. You know, kids fighting kids, you know, to the death, where one kid stands out as the victor in the end of the Hunger Games. This event, it was, the world of the Hunger Games was so creative and inventive. I loved it. The performances were outstanding. Jennifer Lawrence. She's such a fantastic actress, and she was excellent in this movie. The only thing I wanted to see in this movie was more Katniss and Peeta romance, I guess you could call it. But Hunger Games, such a fantastic movie. There were a lot of cool action scenes in the movie. The score was really good by James Newton Howard, I think, did the score. This movie was so well done. The shaky cam never bothered me. Gary Ross, I think he did a fine job directing this movie. I really loved The Hunger Games. Deserves my number 3 pick. Now my number 2 and my number 1, everyone's going to get mad at me that I put number 2 as number 2 and I put number 1 as 1. The DC fans are going to get mad at me, that is. My number 2 pick, I really wanted this to be 1, but I loved 1 just a bit more. My number 1 pick was absolutely flawless. My number 2 pick was near perfect. And number 2 is The Dark Knight Rises. The Dark Knight Rises, such a perfect finish to the Batman trilogy from Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan, man, wow. This movie, I was so amazed after the second time I saw it. The first time and second time, loved it. I fell in love with this movie after my second viewing. The story, excellently written. Do I have to even go into everything I loved about this movie? I don't think I have to. The performances were excellent. Bane, best villain of the year for sure. The most menacing villain of the year for sure. Best villain for Batman. There were so many cool fight scenes in this movie. The score by Hans Zimmer was excellently done. And the ending scene in this movie, best ending scene in a movie that I had seen all year. A beautiful end to the trilogy. I love The Dark Knight Rises, guys. Such a fantastic movie. You don't know how much I wanted to put this as number 1, but my number 1 pick, I'm a bigger Marvel fan, let's just put it that way. I'm pretty sure you guys can guess what my number 1 pick is. That is The Avengers. Everything was right about The Avengers, guys, this year. This was the movie of the year for me. This was my best theater experience of the year for sure. This was probably the most fun I had at the movies in my entire movie-going experience. I loved this movie. There is absolutely nothing I hated about The Avengers. There was no problems with this movie. The story, excellently written. The script was cleverly written. There were so many funny scenes in this movie. Humor was great. The performances from all of these actors, seeing all of these actors come together was one of the coolest things in the movie. And seeing all of these characters come together, Iron Man, Hulk, Thor, and Captain America, holy crap. That is a movie with all of those characters together. Fighting Loki and the Chitauri, that's it. That's all you need to make a movie great. Just those characters alone. There were so many cool action scenes. The last 40 minutes of this movie, oh my god. Some of the best action I've ever seen put on film. So intense, so many great action scenes. The visuals were fantastic. The score by Alan Silvestri was really well done. Guys, everything is right about The Avengers. The Avengers is the movie of the year. It's the movie that was the most memorable of the year. My most fun in the theater. I cannot stop praising this movie because it was the movie that had the most impact on me all year long. There it is, guys. Those are my top 10 movies of 2012. My top 10 favorite movies of 2012. I will be making my worst movie list soon. I'm not going to make a 10 movie list because I didn't see 10 bad movies. I only saw like 4 or 5 bad movies. So that video will be coming soon. Guys, give me your top 10 favorite movies of the year, or give me your top 5 right in the comments below. If you want to argue my opinion in the comments, go ahead. But you know what, guys? This is my opinion. These are the movies that I loved seeing this year, the movies that I really enjoyed, movies that made the biggest impact on me this year. Such a great year for film, guys. Thanks for sticking with me this whole year and watching all my videos, all my movie reviews. And I hope you liked my top 10 list, guys. Thanks for watching again. Bye.